How's it going, fellow traders? Magic Trader here, and this is the CFTC report for the data that was recorded on December 1st, 2020. Here's a brief snapshot of the positions held by the institutions as of that date. And so let's start by having a look at gold. See what the institutions have been up to. Alright, so price was dropping here on the weekly chart, and what did the banks do? They increased their longs. 320 to 324, but previously we had them at 329, so that's not really telling us much. Okay, they just put it back up to the amount of longs that they had before they closed them off, so not really telling. What we have been expecting is this drop. Okay, we've been talking about this drop for a long time now. We were predicting it when price was up here. We said gold is going to stop and it's going to drop and it's going to hit the monthly area of demand. And as you can see, that is exactly what has taken place. Interesting to point out though is as price is coming into this area of demand, look at the coloration. Look at what's happening here. Okay, a big closure of short positions helps boost the sentiment into bullish territory. Now remember, we used to be bullish back here. Okay, but look at what's taken place over the last many months. It went from bullish to neutral. Why was it going neutral? Because price was stopping. The momentum was dead. And remember what I've always said, you know, if the sentiment is not strong, then there's no momentum. Okay, if it's not switching from one to another, there's no momentum. It went from bullish to neutral. And a lot of people were talking about, oh, let's buy gold, let's buy gold. Well, why would you want to buy gold when there isn't any momentum? Okay, when the institutions are switching from being very bullish to neutral, that's not the time to be buying. Alright, so now we see our first signs of them being bullish again. Very interesting that it's happening right at demand. Okay, and now you can see that demand is kicking in. See how price is moving upwards? Yeah, that is the demand kicking in from the institutions there. Okay, so very telling, this information. Now we take a look at oil. Oil continues to go higher just as we have been laying out. I mean, we've talked about this, I don't know how many months it's been, but since price contacted this weekly area of supply, we said there was going to be a slight drop to the downside and then reverse and head higher. And as you can see on the charts, that is exactly what has taken place. So let's see what they're doing with the positions, right? They've been adding to their longs. 638, 673, 677, just keep on increasing, increasing those longs. So remember here, we are at 82, 80, very bullish, right? But then, all of a sudden, it dropped into the 70s, okay, throughout here. And now what are we seeing? We're seeing them become bullish once again as price is climbing upwards. This is a good sign, very good sign. Okay, if this continues, there's definitely going to be a continuation like this, and that's what we have been outlining again for many months now. US dollar, interesting one. Take a look. Boom. Big increase in shorts. They used to be 20, they used to be 19, even 16,000 back in November 3rd, 16,000 up to 19, up to 20, 22, 26, and what do you get? Massive drop in price right throughout there. I mean, again, this is what we've been expecting over time. We were expecting the weakness, right? We had some bullishness. There was a very good chance that price was going to rally like that based on the euro having overextended with their long positions. But what did they do instead? They took some profits and then they continued price in the same direction. So we'll take a look at euro shortly. But what I want to point out here is that we were bearish here, and then we entered into somewhat of a neutral territory all throughout here. We're still sitting at that neutral territory. But I believe this is just the beginning of them starting to reaccumulate some strong shorts, okay? And we're already seeing signs of that right here. Shorts are becoming aggressive. What about longs? Still cooled off. Yes, they added a little bit to their longs, but they're still cooled off. Another thing I'll point out is look how aggressive they were with shorts, and now starting to head back into those territories. A little bit early to tell, but I think we're starting to see the early signs of that. Aussie US dollar. We take a look here and we see that they are breaking price to the upside, and I sent some information out on the observation journal in regards to these areas of supply. I said one of them has to go. Whatever one goes, that's where the direction of price is. Supply went, and now we're seeing price heading higher. Now, as price is heading upwards, I want to show you how shorts are the aggressor. Okay, interesting how shorts are the aggressor as price is going higher. We got to be careful with that. Okay, very careful, because remember, back here we used to be very bearish, but what's been transpiring since then? It's become more neutral and still more neutral. Okay, short exposure bounced up from 52 to 55, but take a look here, net positions negative. So what does this tell us? Well, it tells us that we should be very careful about going long. Why? Because this can tip over at any point. I think it's going to go higher. I think the evidence is suggesting that, but I also think that eventually it's going to tip over. We have some places where we think that's going to take place, and I've outlined it for members on the observation journals and in the full report that we send out to members. So have a look at that. So US CAD, we have that move lower that we've been talking about for quite some time. Trade signal to go short here worked to perfection, and we've had this mapped out here on the charts for some time. Price rallied up, and now we see the decline. So as that is taking place, they increase a little bit of their longs from 48 to 49, and shorts not so much here in terms of their positions, but this came as price was starting to move down here. I would suspect that next week's data is going to be a little bit more revealing when it comes to what they've been doing. We saw a little spurt of bullishness here, but ever since then the sentiment has been neutral. Okay, sentiment continues to be neutral. We have downside targets on this one. Down below the charts. And we are waiting for some more short signals to get in precisely at turning points where we expect the banks to continue price to the downside. So this one's been looking really good for some time now. US Swiss franc, longs are cooled off. Shorts are the aggressor. We've known that for some time. We've known that. We've been expecting price to go lower. Look what the sentiment has been here since August. Previous to August, it used to be neutral. Then it became bearish. Take a look at net positions. They've been bearish for some time now, and pretty aggressive too. I mean, there's a lot more room to become more aggressive, but aggressive. So we are expecting more downside with that one. Here's the euro. So the euro, we know recently they reached all-time high in long positions, 266,000, which is crazy. That was all-time high. And so when you look in the past and saw what happened last time, they were super aggressive with long positions. This is what happened. Okay, so it happened here. This is related to this. And what did they do? They took some profits, but they didn't drop price hard. They didn't do it. They're keeping it up. Now we're starting to see a reaccumulation from the low 200s, now up to 207,000. And that's as price is climbing up. So we got to be careful with this one because we are contacting some massive supply. So we are expecting some downside pressure on this, but eventually we do see price going higher, and we've got our eye on some trade signals, and we're just waiting for price to get ready for that. So bottom line is bullish. It's been bullish for quite some time. Okay, and now we're seeing why it's been bullish for quite some time. All right, not last, pound. Increase in longs, 30 to 37, quite telling right here. Price rallied, contacted supply. And we got taking a look at this here, we still got it in neutral territory. So I'd like to see more bullish positions. Okay, I'd like to see more bullish adjustments of their portfolios, because as we stand right now, we're still bearish. Right? Look at net positions, and sentiment is still neutral. I mean, it's slightly turning bullish, but it's not quite there yet. So we'll wait and see how that plays out. US dollar, Japanese yen. Look, longs have been cooled off for quite some time. They're not doing much with their longs. We knew that, right? We knew that overall we'd be expecting a move to the downside. And lo and behold, now look what we have. Remember short positions, 46, 51, 55, then boom, down to 40. Now look, 54, 62. That's super aggressive. Super aggressive bearishness right there. Alright, so we should be aware of that. And look at the sentiment. Bearish as well. So, move lower once the obstacles are taken out, but the pressure is to the downside. Euro Kiwi, Kiwi dollar, boom, 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 increases in long positions. Look at the coloration here, slightly turning a little bit green, not enough to be excited about. So we'll label it neutral with a slight tinge of bullishness, but not quite there. If you take a look at net positions, that's definitely bullish, right? And we've seen why it's been bullish, straight up. So is it going to continue higher? Likely. Over time, longer period, we see this continuing higher. Alright, ladies and gents, so that's your CFTC data analysis for the data that was recorded December 1st, 2020, just released on this past Friday. If you have any questions, you can reach us at www.whiteoakfx.com. Thanks. Have yourself a great week. Take care.